computer. Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Okay, whether it's the class size now is 2 students, 1 student, or 10 students, or 5 students, Uncle Raymond's will still continue to teach as long as you are interested in. Okay, so that is my style. When some might finish it, thinks that, oh, too many homeworks, don't want to continue, or maybe my teaching is not as good as being expected. Nobody is perfect, or because they already, that student know more, a lot already, enough already, has learned the skill, so move on. Whatever it is, I think it's the comfort level. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the share screen. Just in case if something wrong with my Wi-Fi, okay, like last week, okay, then so sorry, I have to log in and out again. Okay, so let's go through the documents as per se here. So there you are. Okay, now let's go through the questions here. Okay, so we have done A and B, right, Ethan? Okay, don't mind, you all have to turn on your put your face in the camera. Thank you. So it's good. At least show me your head, and then I need the check. Where is the check? Okay, the check will put it here. Okay, then just one more minute to double check. Okay, no, okay, right. Okay, hurry, please show me your head. Thank you. So study source D and source E. We have done A and B as well. Okay, thank you. Hurry. Just move down a bit more. Okay, how similar are source D and E? So we are talking about similarity. Take note, confirm whether you are in the SS class or history class. This type of questions sure will 100% or no, 99% or 90% will come out. Similarity and differences. Okay, so let's look at the D and E. Then we move on. Okay, so have you done D and E already? Hurry and Ethan. Hurry, done already? No. Okay, let's do D and E. Okay, D. Hitler comments after sending soldiers in the Rhineland in 1936. So I think that day we went through, right? We are talking about positive and negative. And the 48 hours after the march in the Rhineland were the most nerve-wracking of my life. That's what Hitler is saying. If the front has opposed us, then we will be dead. But thank God, as he was saying, we're not strong. So he's trying to say what? Sending soldiers to the Rhine in 1936. What does it mean that? Because he just started building up the Nazis youth, Nazi soldier, okay, the power of Nazism and things like that. But then again, why did he say that? Is it he has no confidence, or he just want to be eating humble pie, change here, or he just want to show off that, hey, you see, I want to challenge the lead of nation, LN, that they are useless. Now remember the front, the on top, that one, okay, we are talking about here, okay. Then what do we think about E? From a speech by Hitler, you look at the year, the different, one is 36, make sure the prominence, guys, when you're doing your exam, please always look at the prominence, which is very, very super important. Okay, if you don't do that, that's it, because the year tells you the importance of locking in, where and when lock in, as in which year. So from a speech by Hitler, so it's 2 years different already. So after 1936, they attacked Rhineland. After 2 years later, you see, I shall only decide to take action against Czechoslovakia if I'm convinced that France will not march and that the Britain will not intervene. How and Ethan, you know, in the SS class got this Tong Ye, right? Remember the Tong Ye girl? Right, very good. The way she present her story, her essay, everything very well written. So you see, this is very short. Only 2 lines, very short only. Okay. So what does it tell you? Anyone? What does it tell you, Yichan?
Sorry?
What does it tell you from this paragraph here? What does this shows about the tones, the tonality of our dear friend Hitler?
It's like he's a bit like conservative.
Conservative. Okay, how about Howry? What do you think? What do you think about it? about this passage here. I shall only decide to take action if I am convinced that France will not march and the Britain will not intervene. Very conservative, 很保守啊. So okay, I will not attack provided these two friends not attack me, something like that. Okay. So what do you think, Howard, about this speech given by Hitler? He's actually telling the world that no, it's really a hypocrite. Okay, that means he's saying that as long as these two countries don't intervene and don't interrupt. So what does it mean? So if you are interrupting means you will attack lah. So means you are telling, you also think conservative, right? Actually, it's not really conservative, children. He's actually taking a buy time stand. Buying time, right down. He's taking a buying time stand. 就是在等取时间，在买时间 waiting for the right time to strike. Okay, it's just giving like telling people I will not attack, but it's just giving excuses to tell people that I will not attack, but provided it's just like imagine in a school, the bully to tell the teacher, I will not attack Peter, okay, provided Peter don't provoke me. So what does it mean? So that means he has a more or less intention to attack Peter, okay? But knowing that Peter will not provoke him, but he's like defending himself to say that he has a reason to attack Czechoslovakia. Understand how Ray isn't? Yeah, very, very cunning the way you do. How Ray, I can't see your head again. I think you moved out a bit,不然你每次下去没有你的 camera 啦，不是你啦。You move down your camera. Then you don't need to. Okay, so let's do E and D and E. Come, let's go. So please write down your answer. Okay, how similar are source list? So let's go. The answer later we'll show you answer. So please write down on the foolscap paper and show to Uncle. So I just move out again for the benefit for the two of you to see the E and D, the different. So you can compare, and then you must quote now, boy. Okay, you must quote. Okay. Then I'll bring up the question for you also. Study source C and D. Okay, 6 mark. So there is no tone and purpose. Okay, so we can move down and so that you can take a look at it. Okay, 这样比较好啊。So you can see few more minutes ago. At least there's one paragraph must be similar. Okay, one paragraph must be different.
So don't you do purpose and tone?
No, 因为这是6分不用 but 你要放进去 for practice 不用紧 please do that. What's the purpose? But because 你看你看两位大哥，你看他的东西很短，没有什么东西可以讲。Not much of the maybe the tone I would say the tone. But the purpose 找不出来，很难。So once you done Harry and Ethan, you just show right in front of me, okay, and then you can take a snapshot picture and send to Google Classroom, okay. Ethan, the last week that one only halfway done, so I've not seen the other half that you finished. So if you can put it inside there for the question A and B. Don't take too long. This one, the most 6 minutes. Go by the mark. 6 minutes times 2, the most, 12 to 10 minutes. But because of time constraint, so you just do what you can, because I'm going to go through the next question with you. Okay, so far okay? Everything okay, huh? Remember to use, if let's say both sources are similar, you can say also. Okay, source E is also. And if it's different, you use however to show the difference. Okay, ready to show Uncle Raymond for your answer?
Sure, I'm not done yet.
Okay. Hurry, okay? Everything okay? Can? This one you have to practice or confirm Hurry, your this year-end exam will definitely come out similar and differences. So when you hit this one and just now the other two questions, your SPQ will score at least 15 to 20 marks. Okay. At least 15 marks for 3 questions. It's a A1 to A2. So you must have 2 paragraphs, one similar and one difference. Okay. Hey guys, sorry, I'm gonna even go toilet for a while.
Sure, can you show the sources?
Oh, you're lucky. I want to go to the toilet, but both toilets are being used. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Ready? Ready? Hurry. Can show me your answer? Wow. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Ethan. Hurry. Can you show me now? Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ, well done. Hey, wait, 再来一次。wait，我要take picture，你们两个一起放，come，一起放。一晨 and Harry 一起放。没事，不要走啊，来1、2、3，再来一次啊。This one to show to your parents one now. Okay, thank you. Okay, well done. Okay, let me go through my answer, then I go through your answer first, okay? Right, let's go. So the answer here is stated that it say that there are both similar mentions over the take over Europe. Okay, both of them also want to take Europe. Okay, and the difference is that appears to have taken a great deep risk, whereas source E appears to be more cautious, which is both of you are right, you say conservative. But I rather think that instead of conservative, they are actually buying times to buy time to see what is the whole situation all about. Okay, so I will read my answer to you, then you read your answer to the class, okay? So the sources are similar, as they both mentioned that Hitler's intentions to take over parts of Europe. Source D mentions that Hitler took over the Rhineland, and in source E, he mentioned his intention to take over Czechoslovakia. So both have the intention to take risks to take over these two countries or these two places. Both sources also indicates that Hitler's army was not very strong. He say that it's weak, I told you, right? Because this is the year that they start to build up. Remember the 4 years plans, like the same as Russia, the 5 years plan. So the evidence in source D is that our forces are not strong. That's the keyword. So instead, I would say not strong. Both sources indicate that Hitler armies were not ready, as they are not strong enough. I would prefer the answer like that. So the evidence in source D right now, if you can, our forces, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this one I don't want to say, showing that they could be stopped easily. So that you can, instead of put stop easily, I prefer that, so that they worry they will get defeated again. Okay, get defeated again, then sell out. This time defeated again, that's it. They might be worse than the 6,600 pounds, and then they return, and then they might end up, don't know what the country becomes slavery. The evidence in source D is this one here, blah, blah, and hence it is also saying that Hitler army was not strong, was not ready, was not big enough, was not ready to get into a battlefield. So in source D, the portraits of Hitler is different in both sources. In source D, he appears to have taken a great risk, whereas in source E, he appears to be cautious. That's what you mentioned, the two of you. The evidence from source D is mentioned, blah, blah, 48 hours, okay, nerve-wracking. Okay, but he just go for it, he don't care. Okay, this shows that Hitler was not very confident of his action and was taking a risk marching in. I would say it's not just no confidence. He was just too aggressive, but at the same time, he want to not just take the risk, he also want to go in and attack, just to, can I say, test his luck, to see whether people are against his actions again taking over the Rhineland. So he want to test water to see how it is. So the evidence in source is mentioned that if I convince that much or not, okay, it's showing that Hitler was taking a more cautious, more careful, more well-planned or buying time approach in taking over Czechoslovakia. Okay, back to you, Harry. Can you read to the class? Change an email, Ethan, I'm not sure that. Because that one Google Classroom, you change already. I'm not sure whether will you be tagged along in Google Classroom, because the Google Classroom accessibility to the Google Classroom is given by my colleague. So you have to check with the ladies there. Okay, so for the time being, you don't change first. You just reach out and say, hey, I want to change from Yichen@gmail to Yichen@hotmail, 可以吗? Oh, so you check, Yichen, thanks. Okay, Harry, right? Read to the class. Can you unmute your mic, please? Thank you. Hello, Harry, thank you. Can the tone be sarcastic? Yes. Which one? Which one do you think the tone is sarcastic? A or B? I mean, D or E, sorry. You have to tell me first, then I will tell you. Yes, it can be. But who? Both got a bit, yes. In a way, not wrong. But which one is a more? I will find it E. How about you? Yeah, same here. Okay, I'll find it E. Yes, well done. Okay, come. Let's tell read out your answer to the class, please.
For my similarity, I wrote they have sarcastic tone.
Okay, then you tell me how is it, you have to explain with evidence, please. No problem.
Source D states, if the French had opposed us, then we would have had to withdraw. Our forces were not strong enough to even put up a moderate resistance.
Okay, how does this show some? Okay, carry on.
This suggests that Hitler thinks if they were to fight, if Germany and France were to fight face to face with each other, Germany would lose as France is much stronger than them. However, they still managed to take over France, which shows that they did not win by sheer military power, but also strategy and Hitler's good rule.
Wow, well said. Very good. Yes. Good. Can. And then okay. Then how about E? Well said. Very good. Hey, take the picture and put in the Google Classroom later on. Okay. E leh? What's the similarity?
Similarly, source E states, I shall only decide to take action against Czechoslovakia if I am convinced that France will not march and that Britain will not intervene. This suggests that Hitler seemed to be afraid of France and Britain, as they might attack him if he attacks Czechoslovakia. However, his main intention was to buy time, and it's not that he is afraid, so that he could find the best opportunity to attack Czechoslovakia.
You see my thumbs up? Well said. Hey, lucky Howard and Ethan. I think most of you not you I'm not being sarcastic. No sarcastic tone here, Howard. I think that day we were in the SS. A lot of the students can't pronounce the Czechoslovakia and Yugoslovakia and enthusiastically. But thank God, now you don't need to pronounce Czechoslovakia. You know why, Howard? Do you know why? From now on, you totally no need to read. From now on today, you don't need to call the country called Czechoslovakia. Do you know why? Ethan also can answer if you want. Yes, Howard, why?
I don't know.
因为它已经没有了。它现在
like it changed name, right?
Yeah, it's called Czech Republic. The Czech Republic. Okay, the 后面那个 Slovakia 那个 Slovakia 是 in another country 的， so it becomes the Czech Republic and the Slovakia. So 分成两个国家了。Okay, it's two countries. But Yugoslovakia still there. So you have to pronounce the Yugoslovakia. Of course, okay. Very good. I like the answer. Very good. Hello, brother. How about different? Hurry. What is your difference?
I wrote the first one is the Hitler took the risk, and the second one is he did not attack that. He did not take the risk. Okay,
can. Okay, so I will skip. Do you want to say the answer?
I said he is more conservative.
Okay. 5 marks out of 6 already. Very good. Okay, I say I won't give full marks. Your teacher may give you full marks, but well done. Okay, thank you, Harvey. Thank you very much. Okay, now back to you, Isa. Your answer?
So for the
similarity.
For the similarity, I write source D and source E are similar in telling me that Hitler's army is not strong.
Okay.
This is evident in D. If French had opposed us, then we would have to withdraw. This means that the military capability of Hitler's army was weaker than the French.
Hey, good. Copy down. Very good. I like this one. This shows that it's weaker. Yes, I like that. Good. Can use it for other sources. If let's say Stalin's that one and Japan. Can use for Japan defeat also. Well done. Very good. Okay, how many anything down? Can you repeat your answer again, Ethan?
From where? From
再来一次啦，重来。
Source D and source E are similar in telling me that Hitler's army is not strong. This is evident in D. If French had opposed us, then we would have to withdraw. This means that the military capability of Hitler's army was weaker than the French.
Carry on. Then E then?
This is evident in E. Only decide to take action against Czechoslovakia if I am convinced that France will not march and Britain will not intervene. This means that Hitler only has the strength to take over Czechoslovakia if France and Britain do not intervene, showing that Hitler's army is weak.
Well, you finally pronounced the second word Czechoslovakia. Well done. Okay, good. That is similar, huh? Then how about difference, brother? Different.
Source D and source E are different in telling me whether Hitler has taken risk. Source D tells me that Hitler has taken the risk, but source E tells me that Hitler did not take the risk. Did not risk anything. This is evident in me. The march into Rhineland were the most nerve-wracking of my life. This means that Hitler had taken risks by marching into Rhineland. This is evident in E. I shall only decide. This means that Hitler will not take risks.
You can like how they say it's buying time. So it's pronounced as taken the risk, not token, taken the risk.
Taken the risk.
Yeah, so it's buying time. 他是买时间 wait until the time is strike. Or you can put that both you. You can say Hitler is waiting for the right time right now, for the right time to strike. Okay, like hit while the iron is hot. Of course, you can put these hit while the iron is hot means on the right time and the right appropriate, the right timing, the right place, hit at the right time. Okay, thank you so much. Any more? No more,
No more.
Okay, so let's go to the last questions here. The last questions we talked about here is, okay, study all sources. Appeasement was a mistake. How far do the sources support the statements? 7 marks. So this one, can you draw a line now on your foolscap? So on your left hand side, your left arm is not support. On your right arm is support. Okay. So let's go quickly. Then we call it a day for this one. And then of course you have to submit in the Google Classroom, but I will show you my answer later. All right. So appeasement was a mistake. How far do the sources support the statement? Let's go. This one support or not support? Must tell me now. Then you put. Not support. I won't tell you. Okay, done. Okay, so I move on. This one support or not support? Okay, then you put if you think, don't mind, one more time. If you think not support, you put that source A, not support. If you think source B support, then you put source B support. Okay, then how about source C? Okay, let you read these two sources. Okay. Okay, let's move on to this one. How about this one? This one is a repeat, right? D and E. Okay, how about this one? These three sources. The name one? Okay, these three sources. Okay, before I review your answer,
Just.
yes?
Sorry, I lagged out.
Yeah, no problem. Yesterday, the day before, also the same. I zoom halfway until you're so fed up. You know, the day the social study, you say, and my wife yesterday used work from home, also have to switch off and on the StarHub. Just the StarHub. Ethan, is your IP provider StarHub?
Yeah, StarHub, I think.
Yeah, sucks. Recently getting very bad on StarHub. Seriously bad. Know what happened to them? After they change the CEO, okay, so don't waste time. Let's move on to the answer, which I'm going to share with you now. So a quick one. So now you know already, okay. I will not ask you which one, okay. I just want to go quickly because I got the other the actual lesson to share with you. Okay, so source, okay, look at this one here. Source A, D, E, F support the statement that appeasement may have been a mistake. D and E. It's so obvious that just now we do D and E is confirmed a mistake. because the appeasement is meant to stop Germany from expanding, right? So D and E is a very straightforward case, and B and C do not support the statement. I mean, B and C is great. Okay, let's go. Okay, I read. Source A shows that Hitler has been taking advantage of the appeasement process and has bluntly causing a lot of destructions right under the nose. I put there, use the word right under the nose of the British. Okay, you can use this right under the nose of the Americans. So you see, we can use American is when the Japanese attack the Pearl Harbor. So you can do that. The Japanese destroy Pearl Harbor right under the nose of the Americans. This shows that the Japanese do not show any respect to the Americans' militaries or naval supreme naval power. Okay, so source A portray appeasement as being something very foolish and a mistake path, paving the path for Hitler to cause a lot of destruction. So this appeasement is quite a useless piece of paper, a piece of agreement that doesn't show any significant signs of reconciliations or even not telling the Germans that sorry, it's not a watchdog. Right now, a watchdog to look after Germany for attacking other parts like Czechoslovakia and later Poland. Sorry. Now D and E. Stop me if you are not sure how. Okay, so I'm going to go a bit quickly. Source D, E, and F provide support to source A. So these three support A is straightforward, showing Hitler's aims and ambitions. Okay, it's all obvious right now. Okay, right now Hitler's aims and ambitions. Same, okay, you can change to Stalin aims and ambitions. Especially you can use it in industrializations and collectivizations. Okay, and you also can show in the Korean War, okay, about the aims and ambitions of the Kim Jong-uns. You also can show the aims and ambitions in the Cuban Missile Crisis for Castro. All right, Ethan should know that. Okay, source D actually shows how Hitler was able to take over the island without much resistance. Right now, without much resistance, and hence showing that the appeasement was a mistake. Source E and F shows Hitler was keen to expand not just to Netherlands, but the rest of Czechoslovakia. Hence, appeasement was a mistake. So you say was keen or eager right now. You know it's eager,迫不及待, very eager to do it. All right. Well, so we talk about this. What is shown that the appeasement was not good. However, source B shows that appeasement was not a mistake, as people were appreciative of appeasement, as seen by the song that was very popular. Okay, this one I can tell you. When you see these songs, is sang in England. Ethan and Howry, straight away you can write down is propaganda. All right, it's really propaganda. It's definitely at the support. It's just like in social study. If the government say that give birth to 3 or more if you can afford now, and this will bring joy and love to the family, it's really propaganda because it's said by the government. All right, but in other countries it may not support that. But I think China definitely will have to support giving birth 2 or more. I think China should start going back. I know overpopulation is a big crisis to a lot of countries, but sometimes 人多好办事对吗？
I think now China released 3 people, like you can give birth to 3 now.
对咯 because 好像that day SL 我不是问你们你要2个孩子还是3个孩子对吧？
But then also people don't want to give birth.
对，为什么呢？因为你看教育来你讲。
The economic stress is like too much.
你在讲什么？哎呦，你跟你老婆Harvey也是跟他老婆以后可能可以赚几万块。Okay, combined income can be 10,000 a month. I think it's not economic problem like Ethan. It's not the financial that 你们付不起养这几个孩子，你们的宝贝。I think it's about the stress level of the education, the waking up in the middle of the night to feed the child.
No, cause like if you think about it, right? Average earning in China is around like, if you earn around like, let's say 3,000 in China, right? Then okay, let's say you and your wife both earn 3,000, then together is 6,000, right? Then for the child, right, 一个补习班 like tuition, right, can go up to like 10,000 like easily. Yeah.
这么好赚啊 10,000 啊 Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because the tuition fees in China is really like really high.
Oh my goodness, seriously?
Yeah, and also like one lesson can be like let's say one lesson can be
Sing dollar.
in Sing dollar. No, but if they earn 3,000 yuan,
Not
right?
enough leh. Not enough leh.
Yeah,
not enough to pay
not
pay
enough.
the 富人又折兵
Yeah, cause like if you think about it, right, if they buy the house, right, if they buy the house, right, the housing rent is like 1,000 plus already.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
they have no money to actually support the kid. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I think.
Wow, just then.
If in Singapore, right, you earn like 3,000 Sing dollars, right? In China, they like earn 3,000 yuan. So it's really quite hard. Yeah.
So by the time you all become adult, you get even more and more tougher.
Yeah.
But don't worry lah. I think somehow or other your parents will support you all one way or another. Because not only that, you also have to take care of parents. This is our duty and responsibility. So that you see, it's not about 3 children. Is okay. You can mention economy. I think Harvey also agree, right? But you also mentioned about the education and also talk about tuition fee. And then how much the 饮食住食 the accommodations, the lifestyle. Yeah, I understand. Then the government will do like what Singapore is doing, like baby bonus. Harvey, you heard about baby bonus? You also have your parents also give got baby bonus because they give birth to you, QQ Harvey and QQ Ethan, and the rest things and rates and also. So yes. So what we have here is true that, okay, let's continue from here. Okay, so I read one more. However, source B shows that the appeasement was not a mistake as people were appreciative of appeasement as seen by the song that was very popular in 1938. Hence, it shows that people were against war and the pleasing Hitler was not a mistake. So again, it's a propaganda, okay, anti-war, write down, anti-war. Okay, likewise, source C also showed that appeasement was not a mistake. Why? It showed that Chamberlains followed the policy of appeasement so that war could be avoided, could be shunned. Have you heard of this word shun, Harvey? Have you heard of this word shun? There you are. How about you, Ethan? Yeah, okay. Now, send it now. Did you Google? It's a nice word to use. You know what it means already? Have you found it? Let me go and Google and see what it say. Then it says that persistently avoid, ignore or reject. So 医生，因为我看不到你的脸，医生，那个女孩子要追你呀，不是你追女孩子，那个女孩子要追你，你一直跑掉。那女孩子，医生，为什么你每次拒绝我呢 ？Why you shun away from me？ 周末你不喜欢我咩？Okay， so the word shun 就是躲开 ，OK，move away。他每次来，一晨，哇，一晨鸡蛋糕跑得很快。比那个100 meter 更快，奥林匹克更快来了，我跑。OK， 开玩笑OK， so this is an example. OK， Harvey and I will be laughing. OK， just kidding So shun can use the word shun. All right. So take example. Say take a stand. This is the thing. The source shows that appeasement was a mistake. This one important. If you can. Anyway, I'm going to put in the Google Classroom. Don't worry. You guys can take a look. The source shows that appeasement was a mistake to a large extent. Don't put to a certain extent. Put there. Do not put to a certain extent. From now on, don't. That means you are sitting on the fence. You cannot sit on the fence. Okay? 你不可以坐理不带理不什么坐理，看我谁看。Okay? On the surface, source B and C shows that appeasement was not a mistake. Appeasement only brought peace for a short time, as war could not be averted in upcoming years. Hence, appeasement was a mistake. Okay, write down this word. Very good to use. War could not be averted in the upcoming years. Cannot be avoided. That is okay. It must be there. This is a very strong statement. If you are worried, leave out your handphone and take a picture of this. Okay. And this averted can be used in the Japan attack. Japan involved World War II. All right. Fema, Ethan, and Harry on. Okay, can so I'm going to close this already. Can Ethan and Harry? Can, thank you, sir. Now I'm going to go to this lesson now, the actual lesson of today. 26, right? Is it 26? Yes, this lesson here. Okay. Okay, today's lesson is about the Soviet Union, about this Korean War. Okay, you have to know the Korean War here. Okay, I gave you these notes here, so just, okay, later the answer even here already. My advice to the two of you, of course, Harvey, you can don't do these questions, Harvey. Okay, you haven't started in Korean War, so don't do if you want. Okay, but just pay attention because, Harvey, anyway, eventually, ultimately, you still have to do Korean War. Huh? Wait, will you be doing this year? I don't think so. Maybe yes. I lost track. Sorry, I can't remember. But I think yes, you may need to do it. You may need to do it next year. Hey, Yichen啊 ，Korean War 是 this year Sec4 还是 last year 啊？我忘记。
Sorry。
这个 Korean War 是今年你读的还是 last year 你就 start 了 Korean War？
今年读的。
今年啊，这样 OK， Harry, you can sit back and listen, but it's good to let you know in advance so you have this. Okay, look at this picture. How do you find this picture? 奕晨，一目了然哦。Very good 哦。Okay, let me explain. Sit back, relax, Harry. Now, Korean War and this, you see, I always like to say this, and I get sick and tired that every time the history never mentioned the 共产党 and 国民党 奕晨。The two, because actually Cold War started straight away after Germany's surrender, and then where's the Mao Zedong? As you know, recently China celebrated 100 years of Communist ruling party, which to me is not really now. It doesn't seem like a real pure communist ideology. A communist country will not allow iPhone, correct? Will not allow iPad or iPhone in China, right? Something like that. But because of thanks to Deng Xiaoping, it modified. But then again, why Korean War? Because Korean War comes in at that time when they see the split between China and later on to Taiwan. So they took these opportunities as a vacuum, not vacuum cleaner, children, as a vacuum power right now, as a vacuum power. Okay, vacuum power. Okay, what does vacuum power means? It means that, for example, 浩瑞，你听过曹操吗？有哦。奕晨，你有听过曹操吗？有啦 ，of course 啊。OK， 就是曹操死后，他的王位是给谁的？曹丕还是曹仁还是曹赤 ？Right？ 你听过那个煮豆燃豆萁 ，right？ 同是根本生哦，听过啊？哇，你们没有听啊，糟糕了啊 ！So this is where 曹操 when he died, okay, he left a vacuum power. You know, like you know, some CEO, the father died already, right? Then they got 3 children, so they have to put a 遗嘱, a will, to see who is taking over the business or the empire. So in this Cold War, at that time, you have to understand. Do you know Korea was once a colony of Japan? At least can I see your head knocking or something? You know that? Korea was, if you watch a movie, write down, there's this YouTube movie called My Way. MYWAY. You will know Korea used to be colonized by Japan for 100 years. And in fact, today is Wednesday. This Friday, I'm meeting my Korean student. So every time when we teach the history, no, he don't do history, he do geography. So about 100 years, 1901, I think, or no, more than that, or 60 years or 50 years. Okay. So you have to know, do you know Japan colonized Taiwan and Korea? These 2 countries. So they conscript. Conscript, 你懂什么是 conscript 吗？奕晨 and Harry， 你懂吗？懂啊 ？Okay， conscript 就是招兵买马。That means force people to join the army by force. Conscript. 哎呀，你有没有看花木兰？ You know recently got this Disney show about the 花木兰 right?
My mother said that it sucks, then she said don't watch it.
Yeah, I tell you, I freaking agree with your mom. Seriously, you know, I was very disappointed. I'd rather watch the cartoon one.
Cause she say like, cause it's not authentic or something like that.
哎，没有，你看那个台湾的花木兰，你懂吗？那个谁啊？那紫薇做的，你有看吗？
No.
You watch the Taiwan 花木兰. That one a bit also exaggerate, but I think it's better than the Disney 花木兰, the real one. Because the way they set out, Harvey and Ethan, 它的整个系统啊，the housing 啊 is already out of it already. I think the bloody director has to go and read the history of China.
Then also like the clothing
Stupid.
is not right.
The what?
The clothing they wear is not
Yes,
right.
yes, correct. It's a wrong dynasty lah. Uncle Raymond is very particular in dynasty. You know, 那个宋朝的官府跟明朝的官府跟燕朝都是 different. It's really stupid. It's actually mocking us as Asian people. Damn idiot. I'm sorry. I feel I only watched one at one time already, and that's it. Okay, and the housing is they use in the wrong way. The housing in the past where you got circle one, 那个是用在那个客家人的屋子来的。那个是客家人的，真正的屋子在那个时代是魏国是吗？那个七国是吗？ The Seventh Dynasty or something like that. That was way before the Tang Dynasty, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, you have to know this. Okay, so know this as in Korea and Taiwan was being colonized by Japan. All right, so North Korea is supported by the Soviet Union. Anyway, the notes will be there for you, Ethan. So just read through it. Then South Korea, you see every different topics, I will give different idea for y'all. Okay, then South Korea is supported by US. Now just remember, always the South supported by the capitalists, which is the US. Right, there's the partitions of the Korean. Okay, and they were asking each other, they always like to ask, is it a civil war or proxy war? Right? They always like to ask this question, proxy war. Okay, it all started with proxy war lah. Okay, no, sorry. You always start with civil war first, then become proxy war. Okay, 内战, 内混, 内乱. All right, so South Korea, you must know this guy. Okay, and that automatic rule. Okay, South Korea, so you capitalist. So you realize both are C. One is a capitalist, one is a communist. Okay, totalitarian rule. Okay, remember, anti-communist. Anti-capitalist. Then the desire of unifications. Both also leader want to unite Korea, which is not wrong. That's why I say it's a vacuum power, not a vacuum cleaner. A vacuum power means because finally now Japan 它的主人死掉了，主人 surrender 了义珍跟浩瑞，所以那个遗子那个 chairman 两个人都在抢着要做，可是这两个人的意见不一样，他的想法不一样。The ideology is totally different, right? So just like the father passed away, this father passed away, he got two sons. Okay, hey, Ethan, have you heard about this Nike shoe in Africa? No. No. How many you may think Nike shoe in Africa? No. Okay, one day the father asked two sons, they manufacture shoe, something the story like Nike shoe. The father asked the elder son to go and see whether can sell shoe to African. The elder son came back and said, no, father, please don't waste your time. Not worth it, because in Africa, nobody wears shoes. Don't bother to sell shoe to them. Then the second son also came back from Africa and he told his father, hey, father, I think it's the best opportunity to sell shoe to Africa and educate them to wear shoe, protect their feet, okay, and make sure that they are properly wearing a proper shoe so that they can travel better and more comfortable. Hooray. Finally, do you think which idea he took? A or B?
B.
B, thank you. How about Ethan? A or B?
Okay, I honestly think like it's A.
A. 为什么呢?
Because like, even if you educate them on like wearing shoes, right? Right, as in like, you think like they don't know that like wearing shoes is not important. It's like if you are struggling to like maybe feed yourself, right?
Oh, I like the way you use that, man. Struggling. Very good word.
Yeah, if you are struggling to feed yourself, then of course you like spend most of your money on
food.
Food,
yeah. Need,
Yeah, cause like if they of course would, if like they had the extra money, of course like they would have went to buy shoes, cause like it's not like they don't know that you can wear shoes, right?
对，你说的非常好。可是对不起大哥，最后他爸爸 invest 在 shoe. That's why you see you are right you are absolutely right. No, both of you are absolutely right. But okay, Ethan, I know you think very 3 steps ahead of what the person is thinking. You're right. 我跟你讲，你还是做生意好了，因为你是一个很狡猾奸诈的商人 ，which is a good thing 啊。生意人就是要奸诈嘛，对不对？对吗？可是你赚来的钱，你当然会回归社会 ，because you have a heart of gold to take care of the poor。你没有赚钱，你怎么去做善事，对不对？好，医生，好 ，make sense 啊 ？So you're right 啊。So the father sponsor shoe to the second son. The father get the son to educate them how to wear a shoe. So the first pair was all sponsored. Those those people who throw away their shoe, right? They put that sponsor a shoe to Africa. You go and Google it, you see it. That was many years ago. Okay, they even sponsor a belt, sponsor spectacles, sponsor a few things to African. And yes, it's true. You're right. They can't even eat, and they ask me to wear a shoe. But after wearing a shoe, you realize that the Ethiopia and this Nigeria, they wear the shoe in the Olympic Games and won the Olympic. Before that, they run without shoes. In fact, better. So when they wear shoes, they can't even run. But eventually, the pair of shoes is their life. So you see, it doesn't mean like, you see why I related these shoes to this North and South Korea. At the end of the day, on that particular moment, you as the father, you might think your elder son is correct and your second son is correct. But Ethan and Harry, when you make a decision, you will sure have to kill one of your son's idea totally and make one of your son's idea very frustrated. And the same goes to South Korea and North Korea. But because people are coming in, until today, you see there's no right or wrong answer that end up it becomes 38 parallel between North and South Korea. But the shoe one is a very straightforward. Yes, it's kind of survival and sustainability. Okay, and in fact now, if you wear shoe, you cannot use rubber. Right? Sustainability, it must be, rubber is kind of non-degradable and is bad to the environment and pollution. You see, getting more to that kind of things, which is similarly, you see, look here, you have the external powers and military imbalance. This is something like the internal external factors that we talk about in social study, the internal security and external security. So why跟内, which one do you think has the most effect to the Korean War? It's the same thing. You have to weigh the pros and cons. And of course, after listening to your two children's advice, you might also want to seek a third party advice, okay, a more neutral party, so that when you carry out your decisions to whether your elder son or the second son, you will not feel offended to one of the son, because you know that these two sons are loyalty to you. It's the same thing between North and South Korea. They're actually loyalty to unified Korea. But because they are different ideologies, they want to give the best to the people. But as you know, from the contextual knowledge and general knowledge, we know that at the end of the day, it's a capitalist. Of course, you can see South Korea. We got BTS, we got G-Dragons, we got K-pop, we got about running band, until China also follow up, 跑吧兄弟, all these things. We got Samsung, we got LG, we're getting a Hyundai car, whereas North Korea don't even have much of the things. And they have to go and they are manufacturing what? They are manufacturing nuclear plant, nuclear warheads. Okay, the money spent on this kind of stupid military weapons because they do not trust the world as per se. So then again, now North Korea, why they decided to start to open up? Because in the whole world, there are only less than 5 to 6 countries of communists in the world. They cannot be sustained enough. So they have to find somewhere. Their big brother, South Soviet Union, is no more communist. China, communist, but they are now a modified communist. They are not interested to support certain weapons unless they themselves are being attacked and being marginalized and being sabotaged or being criticized, whatever, by other power. Okay, so, as you know, yes.
But like if North Korea didn't make the nuclear bomb, he would have been bullied by America.
No, I quite disagree. Yeah, I agree, but I quite disagree. You see, during China, you look at China history. During China that time, US can just simply attack China as well as Russia. Russia also attacked China. That's why you got the inner Mongol and external Mongol, right? 内蒙古跟外蒙古，就是因为中国已经不喜欢四分五裂啊。其实中国的 empire 是很大的 ，very huge。But because 那些 那个皇帝啊，那些烂皇帝 the emperor 啊，好吃懒做，整天抓蝴蝶啊。Okay, that's why they cause a country to collapse. So if China were to run by one country like Donald Trump, I tell you, that's it. China will be even more corrupted. 喂不完的 ，true。你听过这句话吗？浩瑞跟义成，福不过三代，听过吗？福不过三代，听过吗？义成有吗？浩瑞有听过吗？福不过三代。So the wealth cannot pass through 3 generations. So you look at the empire from the Tan Song Ye Ming. So I would disagree a bit to what you say, Ethan. If North Korea were to nicely collaborate with China, okay, and South Korea, it can be done. But because they see the effects later on to the North and South Vietnam, where you all don't study, the North and South Vietnamese, the whole of Vietnamese now is controlled by the communist Vietnamese. How come Vietnam can be successful? How come North and South Korea cannot be successful? That will be your essay in A-level and university, okay? So this one, you don't be bothered, okay? Which I also discussed when I was in A-levels and discussion. But then again, let's come back to your questions. If North Korea were not to build nuclear weapons, excuse me, sir, 美国 is the other side of the world, okay? It's the other side of the world, okay? If US were to throw a missile to North Korea, is it against the United Nations already? You see? So if people will say, hey, you bully Kichi,
but United Nations can't do anything about it.
Exactly like the Cuban Missile Crisis, right?
Yeah.
But because since you are 你做龙头老大, you have to set a role model. You get me?
But like I mean, cause like America is still like one of the biggest trading. So like a lot of countries may be like scared and like.
No, I can tell you, North Korea. Yeah, North Korea started this Korean War because of the two stupid bear fighting. The polar bear of Russia and the honey bear of USA. Okay? Just like, sorry, Ethan and Harry, sometimes I don't want to use this example. It's just like 那个孩子是无辜的。父母亲离婚就是他们因为有他们的大人的问题，到连累到小孩So that little child is like the North and South Korea. You know what I mean? Like the North Korea and South Korea 就是哥哥跟弟弟。So 为了他们离婚，爸爸带弟弟，妈妈带姐姐这样。Very sad, So it's something in the real life. How do we reconcile? Is that how do we marriage this North and South Korea? I don't know. I may not be able to see this in my lifetime. Maybe your lifetime, Ethan and Howie. Okay, let's see. Once you got this result, Ethan, you burn the paper and give it to me. 看我在天庭可以看到那个 news 吗？ But in my opinion, I don't think it's possible to reconcile now. The Donald Trump that time talking to the Kim Jong-un is 捧场作戏而已. It's just for show only, okay? Again, Ethan and Harry, they are buying time, buying tactic.
Cause I feel like North Korea's like economics is like quite bad these few years. So like maybe Kim like he just wanted to like boost the economic for now, and then if they really like start to like disarm the but like he won't really like disarm the nuclear bomb.
Ethan, if you have a lousy neighbors who always put camera, put this, and then he's like, is a feeder file, feeder 那种色狼这些你会相信吗？你当然是要防备的嘛，对不对？你相信美国100%吗？你自己讲啦，你看你自己都不相信你叫Kim Jong不相信一晨，让我买飞机票给你跟我跟浩瑞做你的 assistant， 跟还有星辰跟瑞辰，你跟他谈判，Kim。Don't buy nuclear don't send out nuclear. You see, 你会去那个什么 can 好像那个老外去那个 can. So sorry they will not accept it. As you can see because it's one word Ethan, they don't have the trust. They don't have the faith with one another. That's why some couple divorce because they think that 他的老公去找小三，还是他老婆整天赌博。 but you must have the faith and trust. So you see that study history is a very unique subject. Then you know the human natures. Look at this one here. You see military imbalance. South Korea weak military due to limited US military support. North Korea's strong military due to Soviet military support. Hey, North Korea got thousands and millions of soldiers from Soviet and China. Do you know China sends about 60 over 1,000 soldiers in the front line to help North Korea to fight the war? Until today, I think Kim Jong-un is very grateful to China, because I believe when he was young, his grandfather, the founder of North Korea's communism, has told his grandson that how much China has helped them. And that's why North Korea is really, now you see, he trusts. Hey, hello, 为什么 North Korea 没有 point out missile to China? 对吗？ Correct. 为什么 point 去 US 呢？ China 不是更 if China want to play really a bad guy, he can just simply send the whole soldiers across North Korea and say, I declare now North Korea is my country. 对吗？ They can do it. And the same thing, I think, Harry, do you agree that Taiwan should belong to China?
Oh, I think it should.
It should, okay. How about Ethan?
As in,
do you think Taiwan should belong to China?
see whose perspective.
No, your perspective.
I think it should belong.
Yeah, by right. In fact, true. But Uncle Raymond totally disagree. Taiwan should belong to China, because Taiwan is a democratic country. From the time you see they fight until now.
Yeah, they have their own government, right?
Correct. Just like Hong Kong, lor. But Hong Kong is no need to talk one. Hong Kong is 100% must belong to Taiwan. Belong to China. And Macau also, Auman is also belongs to China. That one 不用讲的。Is straight cut one. Because 这两个国家是因为那个 stupid emperor 跟慈禧太后打仗打输了，给那个鸦片战争害死。Okay, so that's a different story. In my opinion, that's my opinion. But Taiwan cannot reconcile unless China change to be a democratic country. But it's unlikely in my lifetime. I won't see this to happen also. Okay, but I can hopefully there's no bloodshed between Taiwan. 就是好像爸爸在打儿子这样。China 是爸爸，台湾是儿子。So no way lah. No, in China, if you really want to attack Taiwan, okay, no need to say anything. 你知道澳门对啊，那个什么金门跟不是金门那个什么海南岛就足够可以打他们的。It's just that this US always think that they are always being the big brothers and things like that, but it's not true. I don't think, in my opinions, if you look at the age, if you really want to study A-level history, as I did for my China, I don't think China's are ready to want to really conquer the world. Seriously, if China want to do it, in my opinion, no problem one. But China is already conquering the world in terms of economic, right? Which is a very smart move, which is not wrong. So look at this, the external power, which is Soviet Unions and China and US. Now, these are the three countries. Until today, you realize the Korean War, until today, they are still one of the superpower. Okay, if you forget, Harvey and Ethan 很容易记住，这是北极熊，这个是狗熊，那这个呢？你不知道，我跟你讲，我去你家打你。这是什么熊
Panda.
讲华语啊。
猫熊。
Oh my God， 熊猫啦，猫熊。
So they call it 猫熊 also.
真的
？Yeah, in Taiwan they call it 猫熊。
Sorry， 这是中国，中国是熊猫对吗
？Yeah, but actually, right?
真的是猫熊
you can call it the 猫熊 also.
Doesn't make sense 呢，很怪呢，猫熊，为什么不是熊猫？比较好听哦。
I mean, cause maybe you are used to 熊猫 that's why you think that 熊猫。
No， 因为猫熊变成那个很大只的那个庞大的那个 animal become 一只猫嘞。It looks like very fragile and docile, very weak.
But it's a 熊猫。
But 为什么是猫熊？为什么不是熊猫先？Okay啦 I rather call panda 啦。Okay 啦。Okay, so Harry also agree. Harry, okay. So you see, these three bear has been fighting until today. And one of the bear is coming in also. And the bear are always against China recently. You know which bear? See whether the two of you can tell me which bear. It's down under. You know what is down under? Yeah, Howard, you know what is down under? Don't know. Okay, Ethan, you know what is the meaning of down under?
No.
Australia. Right down. Down under is actually Australia. The koala bear. 那个 koala bear 话语叫什么？树熊啊？
树熊。
哦，真的啊？哦
It's called 树袋熊吧？
哦，树袋熊 ，okay, koala bear, yes. Recently, Australians also are also one of coming in kind of want to be a superpower in a
Is
way.
it cause of the
FDA, the trading lah, the COVID lah, all these stupid things lor.
and also the thing about Huawei CEO's daughter.
Yes. You see, you realize that all these are really linked back to politics and economy. Thank you, huh? So you see, all these, you see, 20 years later, Ethan and Harvey, your son and daughter study history, you still can use this same thing to tell them. It won't change much. Okay, was the Korean War a civil or proxy war? Ethan, you have to take note of this. Okay, I will give you more details on later on. It's always started off with civil war, then proxy war. Now, Harvey, what is a proxy war? A civil war is a country that's two different group of people cannot see eye to eye, and then they fight. They want to take over the other and rule the power and become the dominant of that particular country so that he can rule. So after that, one of them they realize cannot take it already. He will ask help from other country to support them and become a proxy war. Okay. So this one you go and read now, it's inside. You received this on Ethan and Harry. Ethan, you are. Okay, go and read this. I just summarize. And this is the best one. I like these type of things. You see? Korean War, the background, can split into two, end of World War II and 38. This one must have 38. I remember when I was in my secondary school, some of my students went to Korea for the foreign exchange program. They went to this demilitarized zone with some of my teachers and showed me the tunnel, how the secret tunnel went through and all these things. Okay. This 38 parallel is actually according to the geographies, the longitude and the latitude. This part here. Okay. Somebody saying something. Go toilet. Yeah, can go, okay. Okay. So look at this Korean War. Wait, okay. While Ethan go to toilet, Harvey, you got anything to ask me about this Germany political stuff? Sorry, these two lessons will be in Korean War, so I hope you understand. But you can ask me anything that is. Harvey, 有什么要问我吗 ？Germany 的
No.
Okay, you just tell me what have you learned about Germany political?
Like Hitler.
Yes.
What I learned about Hitler?
About the political, right? Just now you're talking about political, correct? Yes, you wrongly.
And the social and economic impact.
Which one do you think has the greatest impact to Hitler? Economic or social?
I think social.
Social, 为什么 social?
Because that made him rise to power more.
Write down. Okay, I disagree. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Xingchen. Hello, Xingchen. No, I will not agree with what you say to a certain extent, not to a large extent. Okay, to a certain extent. Yes, social to you. To me, it's more economical. You know why not? Can you write down? Because of the Great Depression. Because of the hyperinflation. Because of the job loss. That's why Hitler took this opportunity to say, you see, all the bloody job taken by Jews already, 你看啊，你们没有工作. So they came in to attack in that way. All right. So to me,
he used a lot of propaganda.
Yeah, what kind of propaganda? Please clarify for me.
He
the way he talked to the beer bar, right?
Yeah, he used the propaganda to make Communist Party lose power. And then he can be the only power in Germany.
Orator skill, right? But do you realize every campaign he went to attack and kill people and attack people, it's usually because of money, it's economic, in my opinion. Okay. But once the economics are stabilized, listen, because he want to take over power over the Weimar government, he decided to use economy as a stepping stone to attack the Weimar government. Okay, while going to this talk in the campaign like the beer garden, beer bars and all these things, the street talk, and even his book of his struggle. But because you see, when the person has no job and no securities, have no money to pay rents and bills, then they start to change their mindset. Once Hitler took over power, he start with the social, to build out the Nazis' youth, the Nazis' power. Okay, recently I heard some of my Malaysia friend, wow, Yichen, you back already, Xingchen, are you there? Yichen, 你懂最近听说在马来西亚他们不是 lockdown 了，很多人跳楼自杀，拿白旗。Okay, so is this a social problem or economic problem, Howard?
Which one?
Malaysia 最近很多人自杀。Okay, is it due to economical reason or social reason because of the COVID-19?
Economical.
Yes, you are absolutely right. 为什么
they lose their jobs and cannot earn income.
Correct. Some of them got, he told me yesterday I was teaching one of my students, the mother is a Malaysian but he's here. I said, 哎呦，我跟你讲很可怜呢。那些马来西亚人现在有些没有工作没有饭吃还要讨饭吃有些还要卖屋子当那个金链连当金链的钱有些都不要，当地都没有开Wow, I know that kind of, oh my goodness. Ethan, thank God we are in Singapore. Lucky, Xingchen, you agree on Xingchen? No? Then we can play Minecraft. Yeah, all of us can play Minecraft. Sad to say, you see, people like that. So how Ray, you see, I feel that economy is, you see, a hungry man is an angry man. When you have no food on the table, this is where the social upheaval, the social impact comes in. So, but then, 记住how Ray, these economic and socials are still not considered the worst. It's the political impact that causes it right now. It's the political impact that makes the difference. Look at Malaysia now, okay? I'm not saying bad things about them, but this is 道听途说or 一成道听途说 just heard from somewhere. If this is true, if people in Malaysia are waving the white flag, meaning that their political leaders are not doing the right things. True 的，星辰，对吧？好像比如说星辰 ，OK， joke 不要生气不是说你进来累我骂你如果现在你没有工作做了OK， 比如说你被 retrench 星辰 ，Are you ready? Can you hear me, 星辰 ？OK, never mind. I use 一晨 Can you put your camera on top? I don't want to see the table there. I want to see your face. So, 一晨imagine 现在你没有工作做了，你是大人了right? Because 你是一家之主一晨。
Wait, Joe, I don't need the writing materials anymore.
No. No need. So you see 一晨 ，now 你是一家之主then 你现在没有工作了。So you are the political leader, so-called the head of the family, right? So when you have no job, you see what it affect the household economy, 你的家里的经济，对吗？then socially 你的儿子不是要出去做工了，对不对？来养你，而且你的儿子可能现在在读大学读一半，他要跑出来讨生活说是你的错呢，还是不是你的错呢？奕晨。
I never save money.
Never save for rainy day OK， 奕晨，我跟你讲 ，That's why Uncle Raymond is right， 你可以做 businessman， 未雨绸缪你筹了。
Always save.
Save for a raining day, right now, saving for a raining day, well said.
Yeah,
Now,
in case something happen. Yeah.
Correct. 一晨你 save 了，你 save 了，一晨你 save a lot 了，但还是不可以。难道你是一个烂人吗？ Have you heard this 一晨 if you fail to plan, plan to fail. 听过哦？ If you fail to plan, plan to fail. So 除非 option A 浩瑞，一晨是一个好吃懒做的。OK， 一晨是一个吃白粉的、好赌的。OK，then this leader bye bye already。可是一晨是 option 2， 他是一个大学生，毕业了，可是他的年纪大了，可能身体不舒服。OK， 暂时要休息一段日子。OK，rest of time. Exactly, in the political world, look at the Wilma government. That guy is so old already. Correct? 80 plus 90. So he has lost touch of the world. He has no power. He's become redundant. Just like Nicholas the Tsar, the Russian last emperor of Russia. It's the same thing. Now you understand? 所谓你听过这句话，什么前浪推后浪，还是后浪推前浪？听过这句话哦？The wave pushing the next wave, which is stronger. So in life, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand. Sometimes you look at this one. Then I come back. What is the background of Eton? What the cause of Eton that has the impact to the family? Make sense now, Eton? Make sense? So you are right. We have to save for rainy day. We have to make sure that all these things must be in place. If not, you will cause a disaster. You already cause a disaster of this cost. You see? And then the UN have to involve the invasions, and then what? The 5M, the casualty, the chaos, the crisis, the calamity, and the confusions all comes in. So this is the Cuban Missile Crisis. We don't talk about it. Let's talk about the Korean War. So we are on track. Thank God we are on track. So okay, I will just go to the slide now, the share. Xingchen, Uncle Raymond is doing the Korean War for these 2 lessons. Later, you can go to the YouTube, Xingchen, to look at the, oh my goodness, hey, where's mine? To go to the YouTube to look at the questions for the last week one. Was the appeasement a success or not success? Okay, we go through the questions, and you should read Eton and how rate the answer. Okay, please go through the YouTube. Some of the keyword that how rate and Eton use, very good. Okay, the North Korean War. Okay, now take note of this here. Please write down Eton. How rate and Xingchen. This one you can sit back and relax on. It's Xingchen. The Korean War will be tested for you next year in Set 4. But because to be fair to Eton and Rayton, okay. So June 25th, 1950 to June. So it's actually about 2 years plus. Okay. This is a picture. If you go to the 38th parallel, you see how the 2 brothers. There's got this movie called The Brothers. Okay. So one brother in the North Korea, one brother in the South Korea. Very poor thing. You can see the crack here represent the separations of the 2 biological brothers. Okay. War is so disgusting and so disastrous and so disgraceful and distasteful. So the Korean War was a civil war. Right now, it started with a civil war. Brothers fought and killed one another as American fought and killed their fellow countrymen during the Civil War. This represents the American Civil War. Remember, I think today is 7 or Eton. Okay, Tomai, I will target Eton because it's for his topic. Harvey and Xingchen, Tomai, it's not, you are not important. Give me a couple of minutes. Eton, are you there? Oh yeah, okay, you're moving. I very scared. Yes. No, I thought my Wi-Fi lagging. So you see, 3 days ago, US celebrate 4th of July, the American Independence Day. Actually, you know, there are some people very sarcastic in TikTok. Celebrate what Independence Day? You know, US also don't belongs to you. It belongs to the indigenous Indians. 回去你的祖国啦. You know, very sarcastic. Which I think they deserve some of the things. But if US today don't have US people, I think World War II will be very bad. Okay, so they have a part to play with, but you cannot say everyone in US bad. Okay, so look at this. The Korean War also part of the Cold War, a struggle between the United States and the former Soviet Union. So you must put there USSR. The Korean War amnesty was signed in 1950. That means stop. And after this amnesty, they have this 38 parallel. Okay, so just go it quickly. Okay, the end of World War II. Okay, this 6 and 9 must take note. It's the 1st of September 1945, the end of the 6th year of World War II. Okay, then because of that, now straight away, I told you right just now, Xingchen, we talk about the vacuum power right now. Vacuum power means 就是那个龙头老大死了. Nobody take over the chairmanship, the power. So it's called vacuum power, not vacuum cleaner, Xingchen. So the United States has no troops near Korea and fear that so they have started sending soldiers to attack and protect, to attack the North Korea and protect the South Korea. Okay, so what do we have here? A Soviet troop point to Korea, 2 United States officials, without consulting any Korean, make a proposal to Soviet into that lead to the division. You see, they take their own hand and each other. This is a Korean affair. 他给老外来做决定，评论 making a decision to separate them. Bloody hell, who are you to do that to me? Okay, so this is the thing. And you see, the United States was surprised that Soviet Union accepted the proposal. You see after this, surprise, So then, background for the understanding, the United States and Soviet Union became 2 major powers. This is no need to say until today also. But now, the next new superpower, of course, is China. Okay. Somebody asked me, will Japan become a superpower? Very scared. He said, if Japan were to be a superpower, China will never trust Japan. Agree, Xingchen? 为什么？你对我们日本人有问题是吗？星辰，你对我们这些日本人有问题是吗？星辰，你为什么笑我们？鸡蛋糕。Harry, will you trust Japanese people? To be honest, we are all Chinese here. Okay, no racists. We are all Chinese. I'm just asking opinion. Harry, yes. 好意不解 delay. Hey, Harry, I give you a flower, then you pluck the petal. Believe, trust, not trust. Trust, not trust. So what do you think? You trust them?
Yeah, but they still remind me of the World War II.
Thank you. You better be, man. Okay, Ethan, will you trust the Japanese?
Oh, half.
Half. If you ask me, I love Japanese food. I love to speak Japanese. Okay, I love everything what the Japanese want. But you ask me, as a Chinese, I will never 100% trust the Japanese. Since day one until now, when Japan is separate from China, I will never trust them. Okay, not in my lifetime. Okay, that's all I can tell you. But as I say, I love all the things, but I'll never trust the Japanese. Even the Japanese stand in front of me, I say you are good, but I will never trust you. And I think they know themselves. This is Ethan, look at my hand. Ethan, it flow in the blood. Okay, it's just I'm so sorry. Do you think the American whites would trust the blacks in US? Ethan, you get me? You know what I'm saying? We are not racist here. We are not racist. We do our best not to be racist. But there are always these sensitive things that really have a thin gray line to separate trust or totally trust or not trust or some trust. You see, it is the same. It's just like you go back to social study that we 3 of you attend, right? Why is there a non-Chinese minister or non-Chinese prime minister? It's the same. It's a chicken and egg lah. 讲不完的, okay? If there's everyone trust, then no need to go for war already. There's 不可能的。我问你啊，一晨，你以后21岁，你妈妈还会 trust 你吗？她也会担心你的哦，对吗？ This is nature lah. I'm so sorry, okay? So this one is a belief that the capitalism will exploit people over the world. They believe capitalism. You see, the toll was 62 million people died. And this capitalism will never believe because the communists has already brainwashed the people that capitalism will never have a place in a communist country, will never succeed in a communist country because the capitalisms will erode the trust of the people, will take advantage of the lower class, which is true. Ethan, have you been to US before in your life? Sorry? No. I have been in UK, which is one of the very closest to US. I can tell you, I'm so surprised that such a developed country like United Kingdom, England, where I went there to study. I can see beggars everywhere. I can see people begging this and that, things like that. When I went to China in 2006 or 7, before the Olympic game, 2008. Okay, I do see some beggars here and there in Beijing, but it's the total different things. Is it not? You agree? No? In 100 years ago, China was the worst during the Qing dynasty, the Qing Cao, very worst. But now you see a lot of beggars, and I think we should thank Xi Jinping of eroding that kind of poverty in China. And if you go to US, Manhattan, Chicago, New York, my friend told me, I tell you, the beggars and the unemployed and those who are what they call homeless. That's the word, homeless. It's very horrendous. And a lot of COVID-19 in US, I heard, all of them die is because of these homeless people. So these tensions between the Soviet Union and United States led to the war as called Cold War. Okay, we know that. And then we thought, okay, we skip on this one. And then we have this Harry Truman. Okay, you must take note of this. We talked about it also, the Truman Doctrine. Okay, we done it. So we skip this. And then, do you respect this guy in your opinion? Take a closer look. Do you know who is this guy now? How Ray, you know this guy? Since Yichen, you know her. Every time I go to Tiananmen Square, I will see his poster there. Okay. Okay, with General Castros, Chiang Kai-shek, okay, and brought communism to entire China. Okay, so this is just a brief introduction. Sad to say, he did not talk much about Mao Zedong. Okay, this is the actually, he's the founder of the communist country, so-called in China, but the real nationalist, the founder of modern China, do you know who is that, Ethan? The modern China, the founder of the, Deng Xiaoping.
Deng Xiaoping, I think.
No, it's Sun Zhongshan. Agree? Because Sun Zhongshan get to cut away the what? The pigtail, you remember, and make China to be modern again. Because all the Western people, if you watch the Wang Fei Hong movie, they realize the first thing they step on the soil of China, they always criticize the Chinese. Hey, they all look like the same. With all the pigtail, they're all the same. Nothing. It's like treat us like a slave. If you watch the Wang Fei Hong movie, you will know. Okay, general. Okay, this is how you can ignore the person names here and there. You appoint many Koreans who have to cooperate with the Japanese during the colonial war without realizing resettlement this create. John became the leader of US occupation forces and set up a government. He appointed proprietary anti-communist, well-educated English-speaking people to the new government. You see, already he have this kind of concept of anti-communist. So no matter how it is, too bad. Okay, Xingcai, can you turn on your camera? Thank you. Okay, this is a guy that support capitalism. Remember the name. If you forget, you just remember Dr. Lee Ken. Okay, I really can't pronounce his Korean name, so sorry. Okay, the Soviet Union, okay, occupied the North Korea. Okay, Kim Il-sung, that is the grandfather of Kim what is his name again? I suddenly forgot. Oh my God, Kim Jong-un. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I remember that. Christian churches remain open, but Christian political activities were ruthless this time. So they are allowed to open the church, but they don't allow like this. This is the founder of the North Koreans. Remember that? Okay. Just take note for the two of you, Harvey and Simpson. Okay. Kim Il-sung was 17. The Japanese imprisoned him for 3 months for organizing a Korean youth. So at that time during World War II, before that, he already very anti-Japanese already. He already had this kind of ambitions to unite Korea already. Okay, he became a famous anti-Japanese Japanese guerrilla fighter. So you see, he's so determined to be born to be a leader of that caliber. Then Stalin came to power. Okay, we skip this one. General Douglas MacArthur, you know this guy is very famous in World War II. But later he was so ambitious, he wanted to run the presidency of the United States, and finally he was being pulled to come back to US. Okay, So this is a South Korean flag 啊。你不觉得它的 Korean flag 啊，一层很像一个八卦吗 ？You know right？ 啊，很像一个八卦哦。So you realize that the Korean also follow a bit of the Chinese culture and heritage traditional value as well. And North Korea, 38 parallel. Must take note, your die must know all these 38 parallel to separate the two North and South. Okay, then you can see the Mao Zedong sent hundreds of thousands of troops to fight against the South Korea army. Without stability after that, Semaita wanted to extend and want to further get rid of North Korea and attack China some more. So aggressive. He want to push all the way out to China. And then Truman said, no, fire MacArthur because he disagreed with the commander of the United Nations and believed that if you were to push all the way to China, it will cause World War III. Smart move. During negotiations, the most controversial issue was that the fate of the prisoner of war. Okay, this one is just stated of prisoner of war. POW, right now is called POW of the North. And so the US is it would only return those North who wanted to go home, but North Korea reject. Wanted to go home and continue to fight is two different things. So this is the phrase. Please take note of this demilitarized zone DMZ. In your source space question, you will see DMZ very often. If you are talking about source space question, this is called the DMZ here. Okay. This is really North and South. The way they stand is really very aggressive. Okay, very no laughing matter one. It's really an eye-to-eye staring contest. Okay, this is DMZ, you see. It's still wasting the land there. When this piece of land, don't look at like that, Ethan. Do you know there's a lot of landmine? Okay, the summary of the war. Okay, China invasions of this year. Front line stabilized, then DMZ finally cannot fight until they give up. They decided to separate into two Korea when thousands of millions of people died. Okay, this one you have to take note. The UN forces sent to help. Okay, wow. So 16 countries altogether. The other support, Japan also came in. Because Japan that time already cannot. It's under US military, so they cannot attack. They just only supplies medical. You see how many people die? 900,000 Chinese, is it? Mostly some, wow, so many Chinese. You see, 3 million total. Worth it, Ethan? Imagine one of my relatives are inside there helping the North Korean to fight the war. Worth it. Until today, you see, worth it. Do you think now China want to send another 900,000 people to fight? Hey, 你搞不好可能其中一个是你的远方亲戚医生对不对？哎呀 you see? Wow, so many people. Oh, this is involved of fighting, not really death. Korea was one of the poorest areas of the world, and both North and South Korea were virtually destroyed. After 3 years of US bombing, hardly a building remained in North Korea. So 真的是东山再起。10 million people remain separated. That means the mother might be staying in North Korea, the son run to South Korea, and then after so many years, then they reconcile. Yeah, Ethan, it was mentioned in the one of the old SS textbook about this. So I think they took away this. Result of the Korean War. Okay, DMZ again. Okay, then we talk about the educations, how the textbook, all this changed the course of the understanding of the Korean War. Okay, refugee camps, all this is where they separate the two camps. You see, this is a real picture. If you see this picture in the South Bay, you can tell. These are American soldiers. This is a signaler. This is a helicopter that is going to evacuate people there. This is, I think, is the Kim Jong-il also, and then the Chinese. 这是朱恩来，好像是朱恩来。These are the dead bodies, you see, and then the bridge. Okay, you don't see this very well. General MacArthur, 4-star general here, the 4-star. This is a so-called Achilles or Charlie a cargo Air Force plane. This is you see now the soldiers, now it's the 38th parallel. So this is a kill that they separate. You see the Chinese soldiers. See, finally got this 38 here. See the word here. See the bombing of the bridges. Okay. For since I went to US and China, I didn't notice any difference in numbers of bagger. Really? Serious? But maybe the states that you go in, no, of course different. Maybe it depends on which city you go lah. If you go to Shanghai and Beijing, maybe not lah. But if you go to US, certain part of US, confirm one. We are talking about California, Chicago, Manhattan, New York. I kind these are the few places. Okay, Sing Yichen, this will be your homework, huh? Okay, the answer is here. Don't fret, but of course, please, I think I already give you the answer. I did not cover it up, okay? So just a quick one before I end the lesson today, all right? So who was responsible for the Korean War? I think this is a very good SPQ to tell you who is who. So read the passage here, Yichen, okay? Yichen, then underline 5 words that you find important. Next lesson, I'll ask you, okay? Of course, do your school homework first. Then ask Soviet government memo to the United States government in 1950. So it's the start of the war already. So is it positive, negative, or neutral? So you have to read. A North Korean poster in 1950. So obviously it's a very propaganda, very positive. And then you see the US Capitol. So it's bombing. So it's a very positive propaganda poster in North Korea. Then you say that an extract from the Roots of European Security by the Valdin Telegraph, published in 1984. That means the Korean War has already ended about 20 over years already. Then they published this. So is it neutral? Okay. A view of the Korean War by America in 2003 again. Is this neutral? But don't forget, America, and a review of Korean by an American. This American might be fighting in the Korean War. This American might be very pro-Americans to support the South Korean capitalist war. Okay, take note. So of course you have to read out. Is it positive or neutral or negative against the North Korea? Okay, are you surprised or not surprised? Usually this type of question Sing Tan and Hao Rei, take note usually this type of questions I tell you usually I'll ask you, are you surprised? Is it reliable? Then this one also the same. Are you surprised? Is it reliable? Usually when you see this kind of question, get ready. An interview of North Korea, I see, by the foreign press in 1950. Is it surprise? Why is this so? Okay, interview by North Korean general. 1950, at that time, North Korea, so that means it's very anti of the war against the South Korea. So to take note, you see, where's my question? Let's see how one. No question. Where's my question? Oh my goodness, cannot be. I didn't give you questions. Oh my god. I forgot to give you a question. Never mind. But the question is here. You can see. What can you tell from the source about the Korean War? Explain your answer. Use details of the source. So this is 5 marks. Inference, okay, sorry. Why was this poster published? Use the source. Okay, when you see 6 marks, Yichen, Hao Rei, and Sing Chen, you must use the CMAO, contextual message, audience, and outcome. Okay, why is the reason? What is the purpose of this poster? Is it propaganda? Why did it show that? All right, and then you must see this one. Study source C and D. How different are similar and differences? Okay, can you believe? You see? Can you believe what this source is saying about the impact of the US involvement in the Korean War? Let's go back to E, quick one, guys. E, an interview by this. So always they ask you the reliability. E, any more? Then study all sources. Okay. The communists were responsible for the Korean War. Is it true? How far do you agree? Okay, so the comments were, do you think this one will say that really is communists? This one is really the America. So you realize when you see the prominence, whether you are doing Korean War or not, always read the prominence. Does it tell you, does it ring a bell to tell you, hey, hello, excuse me, is it really the Korean, North Korea or the South Korea involved in the war? Or is it a proxy war? Or is it really due to, is it due to a proxy war or due to a civil war? Okay,